Hi guys and welcome to my podcast. This is the LittleBee Knitting, Spinning and Crochet podcast. My name is Kirsty and I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that watched episodes 1 and 2. We are now on to episode 3, which is awesome. Huge thanks to everyone that has subscribed, sent me a message on Ravelry, sent me a message on Instagram, added me both on those two things. And including Tumblr actually, I've had a few people add me on Tumblr. So hi to all of you and thank you to everyone for stopping by. And if you like these videos, press the subscribe button, which should then automatically turn on the notification setting, meaning that you will be alerted to any videos that I upload. So quickly, I'm just going to cover something totally knitting, crochet, spinning related, totally non-craft related. If you have me on Instagram, you'll have seen that yesterday I went for quite a drastic change to my life, and I'm just going to cover that pretty quickly just to stop people asking, not to stop people asking, just to stop having to say to everyone individually themselves. I'm just going to cover it as one big topic here, and hopefully people will see it and I won't have to keep answering each question individually, because I was just getting to the point where I was copy and pasting the answers, to be honest. So I went for a haircut yesterday, and if you've seen episodes 1 and 2 you will see what a difference this has been. My hair was originally down to about here, and now I think the shortest is up on the top of my head, if not right at the back of my head, and it's quite different, it's quite extreme, and I do love it. I think it's fantastic, but it's going to take a little while to get used to. Sorry, just moving the light around. So to quickly cover why I did such a drastic haircut, it's purely because where to start? 2012 I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which is a lifelong incurable inflammatory bowel disease, and there are two strains of it, Crohn's and colitis. If you know anyone that's got it, you know it can be quite a severe and debilitating disease. I can't say that word. And one of the side effects to Crohn's in general can be hair loss. I'm not saying everyone with this condition will lose some of their hair, I'm just saying it can be a side effect. And I was pretty sick a few years ago and had to have surgery because of it, and they were hoping that would kind of be the end of it, but there is no cure to Crohn's, and unfortunately it came back, and I am now on some lifelong medication that unfortunately has the side effect to more hair loss. It is a chemo drug, or a strain of a chemotherapy drug, so I should have expected it, but it was upsetting me how much hair I was losing, so I decided to cut quite a chunk of it off and hopefully help reduce the hair falling out. So that is the reason why my hair is now really short, and I hope that answers all of your questions regarding the haircut. If you want to know who it is, you really kind of need to live in Greenock or be in the surrounding area to want to have to travel here for the haircut. I do totally recommend her. Hi Nicole Murray Hairdressing, if anyone wants to really know. But moving on to actual knitting, crochet, spinning related objects. We are going to start today with faux. That's right guys, I actually have some things off the needles, off the crochet hook, and even off the spinning wheel. But not off the bobbin, but we'll get onto that. So first of all, it is the Ishbel that I was showing you guys last week. Hopefully the light will not block all this out. I made one boo-boo, and it was my cast off. Literally the last thing you could possibly do. It called for purl 2 together, slip that onto your working needle and purl more together, and so on and so forth till you're done about 400 stitches. Yeah, I ended up knitting them together and putting them back on the needle and knitting the next lot together and putting that back on the needle. And I don't know, maybe if the purl would have given me a stretchy edge, or if it would have done the exact same thing, just a slightly different look to it, but I'm not going to undo it all and put all the stitches back. I can't be bothered. It looks fine. The finished object will be lovely. I just need to make sure I block it a certain way, and I'm not sure when that'll be. I need a swift kick up the bahookie when it comes to blocking things. People have single sock syndrome. I have blocking syndrome. It's me and blocking don't see eye to eye. I am really pernickety when I block objects, and my mum can vouch for me for this one. I block her shawls as well, and I can be really pernickety and have to make sure everything looks fine. If we get pointed edges, points need to be equal the whole way up the sides. Is it a straight line at the top? Is it curved? I'm really bad when it comes to blocking. I could spend hours trying to get one object right, and it's probably dry by the time I finally got it laid out the way it should be. So when I went through my stuff last week to show you guys some stash love, I found like 5 or 6 shawls that actually need blocked, and I know for a fact one of them I made a year ago, so that just goes to show you how bad I am at blocking things. So I will have that blocked for the next episode. If I don't, you have all got permission to shout at me, to tell me to pull the finger out and get it done. So quickly moving on, because this is going to be a really quick podcast today. We're going to show the crochet faux, which is this wee guy. Isn't he just adorable? This is my wee guy. This is my pattern, my bear. The pattern is not available for selling or for free, unfortunately. At the moment I just can't bring myself to part with it, to share it with anybody. A few people have asked me if I will give them a copy, and a few people have got a little bit antsy when I've said no, and it's not to be mean, it's just this is my pattern. I worked so hard to perfect it to my level. Whether anyone else thinks it's perfect is entirely up to them, but for me, I spent a lot of time working on this wee guy, and I just can't part with the pattern just yet. So this is my wee finished wee guy. Now if anyone wants to buy these, I am up for selling them, but I am not up for selling the pattern itself. My spinning faux, we are flying through these today. My spinning faux is my, let me think, Black Forest Gateau merino fibre that I got. Here we go, zoom in. As you can see, all the colours are gorgeous. And that's the full 100 grams, and I'm currently trying to decide whether to apply it with a neutral kind of cream or white, hopefully brighten the colours up, or do I leave it as a single, which would be about fingering weight, hopefully, if I've spun this right, or do I Navajo ply? My other option is to spin up the other 100 grams I have of it and ply the two bobbins together. So that's why it's still in the bobbin, because I've just not decided what I want to do with it yet. I'm most likely going to spin up the other 100 grams and ply those two together, just for a more thicker yarn, but I might not get as much yardage out of it as I would if I just kept it a single and just kept adding the next 100 grams to this bobbin. But we'll see. I can't guarantee anything will be done about that before the next episode comes out. Just because I want to make the right thing with it, and that could take me a while to decide. So my faux are now out of the way and done. I have 2 things on the go at the moment, and both of them are crochet, but one I'm not going to show you just because at the moment it purely does not resemble anything but a blob. It's meant to be a penguin, and it is a pattern that I have also designed and made from scratch. But like I'm saying, the construction of it at the moment, it's got eyes attached to the body, it's got a belly but the belly's not attached, So it doesn't really look like much at the moment. You would just you would just look at it and go, what is she making? Like, seriously. So we're going to move on to what actually resembles something, which is going to be a granny square blanket. Now at the moment I've made it one colour, like one solid colour, but I'm genuinely thinking about going back to about here and putting in a contrasting colour every so many rows, and that's for two reasons. One, the one solid colour just is starting to look really boring to me anyway. The other one is I'm not sure I'm going to actually have enough yarn to make a blanket out of. I have no idea what the yardage of this is. This did not come with a ball band when I bought it. I bought it out of a bargain bin. Sorry, I'm trying to hear if that's someone at my door or one of the cats scratching something. Yeah, they're just scratching something, that's fine. So I've got no ball band, I have no idea what the yardage is. I know for a fact it's probably 100% acrylic. I've got a rough idea that it's Caden So Soft, which is an American brand. So my thinking is if I take it back so many rows, add in a contrasting colour, I will then have a bigger blanket, one that would hopefully then wrap around somebody, because this was meant to be one of my pay it forward items, but having spoke to who should have been the recipient, we've now come to the conclusion, because of her dogs, it's just not wise to make a blanket. Now I am not saying all dog owners cannot have a handmade blanket, I'm not saying that at all, I'm just saying her in particular, it's just not smart to make a homemade blanket because her dogs are very lively and they wouldn't destroy it on purpose. They would probably just do it whilst they were having a bit of a run around. So no idea who this will now be gifted to, because it will still remain a gift, but I'm just going to make it and then decide who to gift it to. So that's my fours and my whips, and now I'm going to move on to something just a wee bit different. I'm actually going to move on to stash jealousy. My mum decided she wanted to cast on a wee project, and the yarn, oh man, you just seen it, damn. I was going to try and hide it out of view there till I pulled it up. The yarn is stunning. I would never have thought in a month of Sundays I would like such a colour, but it just goes to show, oh hi, my wee cat's just arrived down there. It just goes to show how your tastes change and how you never know for a fact what you like and what you don't like. Everything's constantly changing and your opinions and things are constantly changing. So this is the yarn she's using, this is the colour of yarn, and it's like a lime green or neon lime green, and the colourway the company have called is Tequila, which just makes you automatically want to go Tequila. So it's by Woosheeps, which is a Scottish company and it's dyed in Scotland, and their website is www.woosheeps.co.uk. It's a 150 gram ball, which I don't know if it's just me that's not used to that. I'm used to your 100 grams, but this is a 150 gram ball, so this is a big ball of yarn, and it's slightly out of shape now because like the ends want to kind of burst out. But it's a 150 gram ball, which is about 600 metres, which is fantastic because you can totally make your larger shawls with that amount of yarn. And my mum's actually making the maple leaf shawl that I had done in episodes 1 and 2. And because this is fingering weight and she's doing it on the right needle size, which I did not do, it is going to come out a lot bigger. Like I can already tell from this section alone that this is going to come out a lot bigger. And it's going to look stunning when it's finished. I just love this colour. If I'd known she'd had this, I'd probably try and taken it from her stash and replace it with something. And she got it in the Glasgow School of Yarn this year. Excuse me. And I'm just hoping they're going to be in Edinburgh Yarn Festival and I might be able to pick up another colourway just like it. I'm on the I Am Brew again today, guys. I don't do none of your fancy teas. Like, all your flavoured teas I think are fantastic. Like, all your fruit ones, they smell better than they taste. Maybe I'm doing something wrong when I'm brewing them. But give me a Builder's Brew cup of tea any day and I'll quite happily drink that. Milk, 2 sugars, that's my thing. But I Am Brew will always be my thing. A lovely orange colour, bright orange. So my mum knows for a fact I took that today. She was like, here's the ball band, show it off on your podcast. And I was like, nah, I'm taking your wool, I'm taking your project and showing it off on the podcast. So she knows fine well, and I'll replace it by the time she gets back. So what was I going to say? So yeah, we'll put that out of the way now that that's dealt with. I don't want to put it on the floor because the cats will get at it. We're going to move on to just a wee quick thing. I remember saying in one of my podcasts I didn't have any nice project bags, so I decided to treat myself. And I went on to Etsy, which is fantastic for like crafters and stuff like that. I totally recommend using that over like commercial ones. And I went onto Etsy and I put in project bag, and lo and behold, one of the first ones that came up was actually a Scottish designer, crafter, you name it. She was Scottish, she's from Glasgow, so she's like literally a stone's throw away from me. And what really sold me on this was the fact it was Star Wars. Now I don't know if you can tell, but I am wearing a Wookiee item at the moment. And it is a onesie, I'm not gonna lie. I am doing my podcast in a onesie. My house is freezing and I don't want to put my heating on. I'm one of those people. So I'm wearing a furry Wookiee onesie. And just to add to that, there's the wee hood. So I got a Star Wars project bag. Ta 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 ta! It is awesome. Now, I bet you're all wondering, why is one arm, if that's what you want to call it, longer than the other? And it's because this is a Chinese knot bag, and what you do is you take the longer arm and you feed it through the shorter one, and then you pop it on your wrist, so you can knit and crochet on the go. It's fantastic. And what makes this bag even more awesome is the fact it is reversible. So on one side you've got the Star Wars cartoon, and on the other side you've got all the aircrafts, and there is the Millennium Falcon. Oh yeah! Sorry, I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd. I love it. I've not seen the new one. No spoilers, people, seriously, no spoilers. I've still not seen the new one. I'm waiting till the cinemas are a wee bit quieter. But I love this bag. I got this at the start of the week. Or was it the start of last week? Sorry, I'm going to have to sit back. My back is killing me. I got this and I have loved it from the minute I got it. I've been using it non-stop. I was sitting in a cafe with it on my hand, I was pulling the yarn out purely because the ball was getting caught in a pair of scissors I'd left in it. But I've sat in a cafe working on my crochet. I've sat in work working on it, and they're like, "Where's your yarn?" In my bag. The number of times I've been sat somewhere and I've left the ball of yarn on my lap, or I've left it on the table, and all of a sudden it's on the floor. Like, it stops all of that. It's fantastic. And it also means I've got one thing to kind of keep everything in my bag. I would love a bigger one, like maybe a bigger project bag, and maybe an even smaller one, like maybe even one half the size. But I'd love a slightly bigger one for like bigger projects, which I plan to do, and maybe a smaller one for like socks or something. But no, it's awesome. And I actually, the minute I bought the item, I sent the lady a message saying, "Can I show off your bag on my podcast?" She was like, "Of course." Her name is Sunshine, and this is her. She's actually goes by My Mama Knits on Etsy and Ravelry. No, she doesn't. On Ravelry she goes by Sunshine Stewart. On Etsy she goes on My Mama Knits. So please give her a wee check out if you're interested in anything that she's got. She has knitting patterns that she's designed. She's got hand-dyed yarn, which is fantastic. So it's all one-off yarns, and I think her kids help her with the colours. she's got project bags, she's got finished items, like she's just got so much awesome stuff. Now if I'd had the money at that point, I'd have probably bought 1 or 2 of her yarns as well, and if I hadn't been in a yarn ban, I'd definitely have bought 1 or 2 of her yarns as well. And she was really kind enough to be like, yeah, of course you can give me give my bag a wee shout out in your podcast, give my stuff a wee shout out. And I'm just bigging up the fact she's also from Glasgow. Like she's going to totally understand what I'm saying, like no questions asked, none of this what did you just say, like what's she speaking. So big up for another Scottish crafter, definitely. And I didn't buy it just because she was from because she was from Glasgow. I just thought that's a bonus. It means my item's going to be here a lot quicker. But oh, she's so honest as well. Like if you ever ordered something from somebody and you thought the postage was maybe a wee bit too high for that item, now I never thought that. I thought $3.50 for postage, considering one of my wee bears is $3.60 to send. I thought $3.50 is nothing. Like I'd pay that for postage any day. I then got a message off of Sunshine like the day she posted it saying, hey, I managed to send it cheaper, here's a refund. I was like, wow, like people are not normally that honest when they're selling things. Sorry, I'm just trying to see who's getting out of a taxi. I'm so nosy. Can't see just yet. Hang on, I'm going to move slightly forward in the seat. I'm going to be that person. But no, she's so honest. Like some people wouldn't think to go, oh, by the way, your postage wasn't as expensive as you paid, so here's a refund. Some people would just not bother to tell you. So the fact that she's done that is just awesome. So thank you, Sunshine. I'm going to send you this wee link, and I totally recommend that people go on and get their bags. She was saying to me that this is really the first time she's been selling her bags, and they're brilliant. They're absolutely fantastic. I did get the only Star Wars one, and Sunshine, if you're watching, if you're going to make any more, make a bigger one or a smaller one and then let me buy it. I can never have too much Star Wars in my life. Sorry, still trying to see who's getting out the taxi. Because this is either going to be the point where I'm going to have to run and answer the door, or I'll be fine, and that's why I'm doing it. So check out My Mama Knits on Etsy, or Sunshine Stewart on Ravelry, and check out her designs as well. She's got patterns there as well. So we've covered whips, faux, jealousy, the first lot of stash. Yeah, I'm going to be getting up to answer the door. But we're going to cover the next lot just quickly. So this lot comes from Tangled Yarns, which is a UK company. Check out the colours. Acid yellow, aquamarine. So you're seeing a trend. I love this colour. And then this really lovely kind of salmon colour. They are Debbie Bliss Rialto 4-ply, which is extra fine merino wool superwash. So it's 100% wool. And normally I'm a bit iffy with like 100% wool, but maybe it's because this is super fine. No, extra fine superwash. It's just so squishy, so. Hey, sorry about that. The door went, so I had to go up and get it. So back to the Debbie Bliss Rialto. I'm normally a bit iffy with 100% wools. Normally I think they would be really scratchy and sore, but these are really soft, and I'm assuming it's just because it's extra fine merino, and merinos tend to be quite soft as it is, so it's probably due to that. But I got 2 balls of each colour, so 2 balls of every single one of these, and I am thinking a blanket. I'm going to be a bit blanket obsessed right now. Everything I see is like, oh, that could make a really nice blanket or something along those lines, but I think it's just because each ball doesn't really have that much in it, that if I lump them all together, and then my thinking behind lumping them all together was, well, what else would you make with 3 different colours? So blanket it is, unless any of you can think of something better, let me know. The other thing I got, and the reason I ended up shopping at Tangled Yarns, is I decided that for a wee bit more inspiration when it came to knitting socks, I should probably do the official thing and get a sock blocker. So I done it. I went and got one. Now, I don't know if I'm being entirely naive, but I assumed when you bought a sock blocker, you got two. And I also assumed when they're labelled on the site as sock blockers with an S, you get two. Now, in the rush that I was in, the yarn rush, not that I could smell yarn fumes, but the yarn rush that I was in, I just picked the size I needed and checked out and got the yarn and then paid, and that was it. So you can imagine my surprise when my package arrived and I had one sock blocker. So I thought, oh my goodness, have they accidentally not sent me the second one? Have I been duped or what? So I went on the website and I reread the listing for it, and it does clearly state at the bottom it is sold as one sock blocker. Now, I think the website needs to be changed so that it is sock blocker and not sock blockers. The only way the S can come in is when they're talking about different sizes. But no, it was sold as sock blockers, which would make you assume that it was two. That's the only down point I've got to say. That's the only bad point I have regarding their website and the brand and the company itself. Otherwise, they've been fantastic. My stuff arrived so fast. It was all delivered really well in a nice package, all kept together. But yeah, am I the only one that assumed sock blockers would be sold as a two pair? Just me? No? Yeah? Let me know. Well, maybe eventually invest in some really nice wooden ones, which I think would be stunning. But moving on, because again, we are losing the light because Scotland has just decided to cloud right over, and I'm going to assume it's going to start snowing again, but I'll talk about that later. So, as you may or may not know, depending on whether you've watched the first two episodes, I bought some stuff off of Knitpicks, which is an American based company, and I bought my first lot at the very end of December. Whoops, I just totally gave that away. I bought a second lot, but shh, nobody needs to know. And I was not expecting to receive my parcel for another week. It does say 10 to 15 days, working days, and the 10 working days is now past. So I was waiting the 3 weeks, which would be 15 working days, but I was quite surprised to come home to find that my delivery had arrived, and every single one of these was in it. Hold it up to the light in the camera. So this is the order where I was like, oh my god, I bought yellow yarn, what do I do with it? And I'd done it on a whim. I'm trying to get out of a comfort zone, I'm trying to get out of a rut that I've got myself into. And apparently the way to do that was yellow yarn. But hey ho, it's done now. I got 2 of each skein, same as the Tangled yarns order. And I'm loving all the colours. They are so much better in real life than they are on the computer. That's something people need to take into consideration when they're buying yarn. They need to really work out if it's, like, there's no way to work out if it's true to its order until you get it and you either realise that it is or it really, really isn't. These colours are relatively true, but they are a lot richer in real life, and they are stunning. They're really gorgeous colours. Let's see if I can turn this light around a wee bit. So you can see there that this is a really gorgeous yellow yarn. It's kind of whitewashing it now. A really gorgeous yarn. For some reason they've called this one Compass. Why didn't they just call it Sunflower? Like, it would have been really gorgeous as a sunflower. The next one is, let me think, why am I not just reading it? Turkish Delight, which is gorgeous purple, kind of like a reddy purple, and it is a slight variation of colour on it, like kind of lighter and darker purples, and I don't actually know if you could call that a purple. let's just go with Turkish Delight colour, because it is quite a reddy purple, pink, fuchsia. This could go on. The last one, which is stunning, is this kind of green colour, and they've called this Poseidon, which I think is fantastic, because when I look of it, I certainly think aquatic, ocean, water, that kind of thing. So these are my knit pick order, and I was just so thankful that they arrived, because I needed a wee bit of a pick me up last night. I finished work at 10 o'clock and I'd got a text earlier in the day saying, hey, look, a parcel's came for you, it looks like knit picks. You can imagine sitting in work on a Saturday from 2 till 10 by your lonesome. Something like that would definitely cheer you up. So it definitely cheered me up when I got the text message, and then when I actually got home and I got to give them a good squish and actually see the colours in real life. They just smell like a plastic bag, which is what they were kept in, by the way. It cheered me up to no end, it really did. And I now have 12 balls of yarn that I now need to find projects for and find space for. I literally have like my wardrobe to this side, and above it I've got 2 massive IKEA kind of like boxes. I've got a drawer further down with yarn in it. So both boxes have yarn, fibre and finished items in them. And then to this side I have my units, which you can kind of see, yeah, like here, that's my unit. Which the majority have yarn hidden away in them. And then kind of down under this table there's a full bag of fibre that I found under my bed that I totally forgot I had. And basically I'm just running out of places to store wool, hence the yarn pan. Wool, yarn, I'll flip between the two of them. It's not really for any particular reason other than no reason at all. So what have we covered? We've covered faux, whips, jealousy, bag, yarn. What else have I got? No, I think that's it. Now just a wee bit of blethering, really. I was doing it comfy in my chair. I started a group on Ravelry purely for the podcast. So if you go to the groups and search LittleBee, one word, podcast, hopefully that'll come up. Join into the group if you want. I have started a introduction area in the chat, in the threads. Basically go introduce yourself, say a wee bit about yourself, what if you're knitting, crochet, spinning, any other craft. Start a new thread if you want. Show me your whips, show me your faux, show me your town. Like, I am literally sitting by a window and I'd turn the camera around, but the weather's disgusting and you would just be looking across at my neighbours. So not probably something you want to see, but I'll maybe take you around the town one day and you can see what it's like in Scotland. I actually live not far from what's called the Clyde, which is just a river, and it's really pretty at the bottom. You look across, you see the hills, and on a nice day I will do a wee video clip of that and put it in one of the podcasts. I'm not saying it's going to be today, it's definitely not going to be today. But yeah, back to the point. Start a thread, say hi, post some pictures. I'm not bothered. Just no indecent stuff, no swearing please. This is like family friendly. Well, it tries to be when you're Scottish. It's as family friendly as a Scottish person can be. And I'm not saying we're not family friendly, I'm just saying we like to swear. So join the wee group if you want. Subscribe to my videos. Find me on Instagram as littlebeekirsty. Find me on Ravelry as little-bee. I love receiving all your comments and all your messages and stuff. I've had quite a couple of really, really lovely messages on the videos themselves. Hi to Fiona, Teresa, Vero, Jen. everyone else as well, huge hello to you guys. I just want to touch on a couple of things, and then you can probably finish watching now if you really want to, but you can hear me blather on if you want. A huge thank you to everyone that sent me some really lovely messages of support. I had one lady message me asking to buy some of the hand-dyed yarns I showed off in episode 2, which was fantastic. Like, I didn't show those off to try and get sales out of, and that was the last thing I even considered. Like, I didn't even consider it when I showed them off. I was just showing them off because I was like, oh hey, I totally forgot I made these. It's purely for the reason, and it shows a wee bit more of what I do and who I am really. So the fact that I received a message from her saying that she wanted to buy them was really touching. And during that segment I did say I was maybe going to do like a wee giveaway. Now when I try and think of something to do for a giveaway, my whole mind goes completely blank. So if anyone's got any ideas about a giveaway, I'm thinking maybe something to do with pictures. Maybe of your town, because I'm not doing any carols, I'm not doing anything like that, to like pick a winner out of that. So maybe, I don't know, show me a picture of your town that best kind of shows off your area. I don't know, this is just hypothetical for now. So if anyone's got any ideas about something to do for a giveaway, and you could win a skein of some of the yarn that I've hand dyed, maybe one of my bears or something, put that in a thread on the group, let me know, send me a message on Ravelry or direct message on Instagram, or leave a comment below, like get in contact somehow, whichever way you would rather. But a huge thank you to everyone that's like said how nice my stuff is, how they're enjoying my podcast, and it's nice to hear. Like, you forget how kind some people can be when we live in the world that we do, and I'm not going to get all pure sloppy and stuff here, but it is really touching that people can say kind words to you and they're not saying it because they want something out of you, they're just saying it because they mean it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the pay it forward, is I'm making things for the sake of making them, for cheering people up, giving them a wee something with no intentions of wanting anything back, none at all. You're not doing it for money, you're not doing it to get a present in return, you're just doing it for the sake of wanting to give, basically. You're doing it because you want to spread some happiness, spread some nice things with your friends, and it's been nice. Like, I've not received any horrible comments regarding my podcast, regarding my accent, which will probably come later on, no doubt, from someone that's not even watching it for crafts. But it's been really, it's been an eye-opener, really, that people can be so nice. Like, I had someone say they wanted to just send me yarn to review it for my podcast, and I was like, whoa, that's really, really generous. Like, this was a company just wanting to send me yarn to review for on the podcast, and I was like, that was not why I started this, but if they want to send me something, I will certainly review it for them. Like, that's really nice of them to want to try and do such a thing. Like, I don't know, I really am just blathering on now. Pull it back in. So I have decided that my podcasts are now going to be every 2 weeks, and that is nothing against you guys. It's just purely the fact that I do have a full-time job. I have an illness that can flare up at any point, can make me really sick, and can really tire me out to no end. Like, I'm so shattered, and it's not just because I've done overtime, it's because I've just been really ill this whole week. So that's why I look like so sunken and dead basically today. But so I've decided every 2 weeks, because 2 days at the weekend is just not long enough to rest in my eyes, and I've not been sleeping as well, which really is not helping. So every 2 weeks now I'm going to make a podcast. So from 2 weeks from this video there'll be another one, and it is nothing at all to do with anybody that watches or anything like that. It's not that I'm trying to like, get out of this already. My podcasts are going to be here for a while. It is just purely for the fact that, believe it or not, filming, editing, compressing the file down, and then uploading it onto YouTube, it takes a good couple of hours to do. So that's like my Saturday or Sunday gone instantly. So it's now going to become a 2-weekly thing. No, every second week. There's going to be a bi-monthly, and hopefully then as well, like I don't have enough time during the week to make much progress on any of my items, and I would like to kind of show off more than just like maybe like 2 or 3 lines of my work or something. So every 2 weeks I should be able to show you like a good amount of progress, or like maybe have a faux in between those times as a wee surprise, or at least show you what I've cast on and stuff, instead of just going, oh but I want to do this, and just need the time to do it. So recap, big recap here. Showed you my whips, my faux, my stash envy, oh my god that colour of yarn, my bag from My Mama Knits, seriously go check out her stuff, it's fantastic, my stash acquisition from Tangled yarns, which is awesome, my stash acquisition from Knit Picks, which was awesome. I am actually waiting for second delivery from Knit Picks, which I wasn't really going to tell anyone about, mainly because the whole yarn ban thing, but I ordered it not long ago, so it's going to be, maybe it'll be here by the next video, who knows, but it's more sock yarn, I can tell you that much, it's definitely more sock yarn. I'm blethering now again, like what is it with me? So add me on Instagram if you want. I do have a tendency to kind of ignore the people that add because there's so many spam bots, so please send me a wee message and say, hey, I've added you, I found you on YouTube or whatever. Just let me know that you're not a spam bot basically. Add me on Ravelry as a friend, join my wee group, subscribe to my videos, give me a wee thumbs up, you name it, do it all if you want to, it's entirely up to you. But thank you so much for watching. I promise next time I'll be a wee bit more alive, I'll not be as tired and as dead from like such a long week. But thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching. If you've got any pattern suggestions, let me know. If you've got any podcast suggestions, let me know. You can find me in all the places I've already talked about. I'll leave all the things in the comments below. But thank you again. I think that's about the 10th time I've said that word, but you get the point. So I'm going to go finish and edit this video. I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to get curled up and snuggly with my lovely warm Chewbacca onesie. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks time. Hope you have an awesome time between now and then, and we will catch up later. Bye!